Hello, my name is Brian Wright, and I'm here to talk to you today about Flow and the Flow Fellowship. Take kind of a high view of this, and please go to the presentation at brianrwright.com/flow_5m, all uppercase, .pdf to get the entire presentation. But I need to take the high level because I've only got like a 5-minute window here with this fundraiser. So flow is really a spiritual philosophy that contains three main principles, or I call them pillars: spiritual cultivation, independent consciousness, and American First Principles. Now, I like to set up like a metaphor for the benefit of flow, and there's no better metaphor than a golf swing by someone like Freddie Couples. There's no force in that. It's just simply flow. He's become a mechanism for a higher power, and he hits the ball miles, and it's just it's like full of joy, ease, and lightness, and that's really what we're after. That's what we would like to have in our lives. So it's a great metaphor, and even if you don't play golf, I mean, if you watch that video, you'll be impressed, and it'll give you something to shoot for. So why don't we swing like Freddie? Why don't all of us swing like Freddie? Well, Eckhart Tolle really kind of resurrected a major spiritual understanding from way back. What happens is mind, which is the reactive mind, the Buddhists call it monkey brain, compulsive mind, takes over. It has a tendency to take over our consciousnesses, our true selves, and kind of hammer us, kind of like the tail wagging the dog. So what we really want is we want the dog to wag the tail. We want the consciousness to be in charge here. And so consciousness is also now independent consciousness. So this is the Tollean view, and he's all about consciousness, and he gives you plenty of exercise. But the flow philosophy gives you, in addition, the idea of independent consciousness, because to be conscious as a human is to be independently conscious. What happens is you have like a syndrome, a disease that has afflicted the human race forever. It's basically I call it collective brain syndrome, and it relies on what we call the perceptual emotional mode of consciousness, which is basically see, hear, feel, say. Where that's appropriate to blind followers and the king's subjects and so on, but it's not appropriate to human beings of independent consciousness who need conceptual reasoning, logic, independence, and that's what we aim to achieve with flow. All right, in a personal level. Now, going along with that is we have like first principles of our country, which are our blood and soil. And that's the Declaration of Independence. And in the main paragraph of that document, that's the "we hold these truths to be," so on, is that we have like the rights, and this is a stand for independent individuals against the collective, and to keep track of that and make sure the public officials don't go corrupt on us. We had grand juries, and that was always built into the colonial systems. So much they didn't even really talk about it much in the Constitution. But we need to resurrect that capability now in the worst way, because we basically have a society where collective brain is taking over. People have no rights, you have no recourse, and people of power and quote-unquote superiority have taken over. And so they aim to not do us well. And this is another book that's very important on that cause, on the political front. What I've got here is just kind of like a listing of what other aspects need to go in to humanize, to build this idea of the fellowship, kind of like a religion, but not really. But it'll have qualities like that. It'll be independent, united. So this is what I'm doing, and this is kind of a little business plan. And what I want from you is I want a little bit of funding to be able to go forward and make this thing a success. I look for this thing to really take off in 2021.